September 2013.
May 2017.
26th of January 2017.
April 22nd, 2016.
26th of March 2015.
October 2016.
December the 5th, 2016.
13th of February 2014.
In April 2015, we finally became debt-free.
June 2016, I got my job.
In August 2016, my husband and I became debt-free.
October 2016, Jesus came into my life.
He aha te menui o te ao. He tangata, he tangata, he tangata. If I ask you, what is the most important thing in the world? It is people, it is people, it is people. Now this is the story of Christians Against Poverty Aotearoa, New Zealand. It's the story of everyday individuals. Christ and his church transforming our nation, one precious life at a time.
I remember the first clients who started working with us. I remember the first centre. I remember the first case workers. I remember the first signs that the church in New Zealand would respond to our vision and our heart for your nation. I remember the first supporters. I remember the first employees, the first volunteers. It was an electrifying time to see God use a bunch of ordinary people with very little begin this incredible journey from literally sleeping in the office. We had one room in the house that we rented that was where I slept, and then it was where we were. To see God do what he's done is exhilarating, humbling, and amazing. I often say to the teams around the world that we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but we generally underestimate what can be achieved in 10, and CAP New Zealand is an example of abundantly more than I could ever have dreamt or imagined when I first arrived on your shores. It's been a miracle.
Back in 2008, a friend of mine gave me a copy of John Kirkby's book, Nevertheless. And let me tell you, God got my attention. It was clear to me that Christians Against Poverty had a practical and spiritual way of outworking this compassion that God had put inside of me. That his church could see our nation changed by helping people who were struggling in poverty in Aotearoa. That they could show them that they had hope, that they did have a future, and that they indeed had a God who loved and adored them. When I joined the staff team of Christians Against Poverty, CAP was just 1 year old in New Zealand. We had 5 people at the head office, we had 4 debt centres around the country, and yep, that is about it. Not yet had we seen anyone go debt-free, yet we had seen just a few people already make decisions for Jesus Christ. So we had this real sense that God was stirring something, that he was doing something mighty. Now fast forward 5 years. In January 2013, I took on the leadership of CAP. There were 13 of us at head office. There were 13 churches running CAP debt centres around the country. There were 93 churches running the CAP Money course. And 149 people had gone debt-free. And the best ever, 225 people had made commitments for Jesus Christ. There was a real sense of momentum, and it really began to feel like a movement of God in our nation.
Coming to CAP in 2014, it was an exciting time. We were coming off the back of a lot of growth in the Debt Centre network and looking for new ways to support and serve the poor and needy in New Zealand. We knew that unemployment was a key driver of poverty, so we set about launching CAP Job Clubs. I had the privilege of being part of the pilot that we ran, and it was a really humbling experience. We were pretty sure that it would work in terms of equipping people with the skills that they needed to find work, but the thing that blew me away and that I found incredibly beautiful was getting 9 people together who were strangers. The one thing they had in common was that they were unemployed, and seeing them become friends and seeing the way that they encouraged each other and the community that they formed was really beautiful. The thing about what the community aspect does is it gives a platform to introduce hope, and hope is powerful. And hope doesn't start when someone finds work. Hope doesn't start when someone is set free from addiction. Hope starts the moment that someone realises that they're worth caring about, the moment that they realise they have value, the moment that they realise that they have something that they can offer, that they're fearfully and wonderfully made. Hope is the catalyst for change to take place and transformation to happen. Coming off the energy that was built by CAP Job Clubs, we were excited to help churches engage with other forms of poverty. So in 2016, we launched another ministry, CAP Release Groups, supporting people with life-controlling habits and addictions. And if that wasn't enough, in 2017 we launched another ministry, CAP Life Skills, enabling people to thrive on a low income. For me, I am blown away looking back at what God has done over the last 10 years in CAP. Starting from debt counselling, adding in helping the long-term unemployed, supporting people with life-controlling habits, and enabling those on low income to thrive. It is incredibly humbling and a reminder that God can do more than we ask or imagine, and that we need to push into Him. So I'm excited to see what He is going to do next in our nation.
My dream for CAP is that when someone calls in and they're reaching out for help, that we never have to turn them away.
The CAP services are available to everyone, everywhere in New Zealand.
Kaitaia right down to Invercargill, every centre, every town, every city with services available to help those who desperately need the help.
To be able to call a free phone line and to have someone on the end of the phone who is able to say, yes, we can come and meet with you, yes, there's a club in your area.
I want to see anyone in need in New Zealand offered relevant help by their church and being given a chance to know Jesus.
Every day, frontline staff walk into the homes of those who are struggling in the cycle of debt. They feed the hungry and they take the gospel of hope and peace. Every day, coaches sit down with those who are looking for work, who are fighting life-controlling habits and who are struggling without essential life skills. And they get to say, there is hope, there is a way forward, and there is a God who loves you. Every day, the head office staff team supports the frontline, encourages churches, and advocates for those in poverty across Aotearoa. I'm amazed and I'm humbled and privileged to be a part of something that is helping the church do what it was called to do, to preach good news to the poor and to release the oppressed. And I just love that it is God and His church that get all the glory for the transformation that we're seeing across Aotearoa. None of that would be possible without the thousands of people who have been involved in Christians Against Poverty for the last 10 years. We talk a lot about numbers and we celebrate each life change because at the end of the day, it has to come back to the people. The families, the children, the generations changed both now and for eternity. There is nothing better than that.
Because of CAP and being debt-free, we can now take our kids on family holidays.
Once I'm debt-free, I can save for my son's college.
When I finally got the job, I was so excited. I could not believe it. I really counted my blessings.
Because of you, we're able to put $67,000 towards our house mortgage.
Now that we're debt-free, I can do things with my daughter.
We are able to just use money at will to go even just to buy fish and chips.
Because we are debt-free, we can now start saving for our kids' future.
Now that I'm free from my anger, my family and I have more fun.
Because we're debt-free, we've finally found freedom and we can be the people that God wants us to be.
From the bottom of our hearts, we just want to say thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, CAP, for helping me find the job of my dreams.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whawhitai lava.
Buy a donkey.
Thank you for helping me find work.
Thank you.